Welcome to Kung Fu Africa number 2. This is about the fifth time that I am going to attempt to explain this to a commenter on someone else's page about an Aikido roll throw maneuver. Alright? So, I have studied many martial arts, and I want to let you all understand that martial arts tends to bleed into each other because teachers take other teachers' things that work and mix them into their style. And then if you're being taught Aikido with certain other moves that would belong to another system, it technically still is Aikido. So the young lady was grabbed, her arms were like this, and the guy came behind her like this. He picked her up, her legs went straight vertical, and she got come down and she rolled him over, which is basically a judo throw. Alright, there are many judo throws, and if you have learned many different martial arts, you will understand that a lot of martial arts do bleed and converge into each other. So if you see someone doing Thai fighting and they drop an elbow, it's because that's where it came from. But if you see somebody doing Wing Chun and they snag and they drop an elbow or a back fist, the elbow also is in Wing Chun. Now the reason why you don't know that is because when you watch Wing Chun in movies, most people don't accentuate the elbow. They just basically, they keep it simple. Boom, 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 boom. They keep it simple. All right? Where if you watch Thai fighting, you got knees, you got elbows, and when you watch Thai fighters or kickboxers train, you watch them train. Knees, elbows, elbows, boom, boom, boom. You watch them train. That's why you see elbows in Thai fighting and in American kickboxing, or kickboxing in general. But for Muay Thai, elbows and knees are essential. And you do see them train. They train this way, boom, 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 boom. They train all of their appendages, including forearms and elbows. Where in Aikido, there's a lot of rolling around. There's a lot of locks and pushing and tucking under. Well, Wing Chun also has that. So don't think that Wing Chun does not have that. But Wing Chun, just like everything else, evolves. Wushu also has that. Don't think that Wushu and Kung Fu does not have that. Certain Shaolins also have elbow strikes too. You have to understand, every martial art, I'm sorry, you don't have to agree with this, but this is my personal opinion. Every martial art began with Kung Fu. Period. And it evolved, all right? Karate evolved. Okinawa karate evolved. Taekwondo evolved. Karate, Jiu-Jitsu, Ninjutsu, Judo. Jiu-Jitsu definitely evolved because it went from standing up to laying on your fucking back, all right? Which is why it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus Jiu-Jitsu. Now, Jiu-Jitsu has a lot of grapples and locks too. So, if you're old school Jiu-Jitsu, please tell these BJJ guys that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright? If you're old school Jiu-Jitsu, the standing up shit that I learned. Alright? Boom, boom, boom. Old school Jiu-Jitsu. Boom, boom, boom. Lock again. Old school Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu, when it was standing, had a whole bunch of motherfucking lock systems. Alright? Sorry for cussing. Now, back to the matter at hand. So this guy, he decided that the lady's Aikido feet to the air roll wouldn't work. So as I told you guys in the video I deleted, I'll tell you again. When I got jumped at my job when I was in my teens, working at Kegler's at a bowling alley by these two white cats who didn't know me, didn't like me, but the third white cat told them that I was a badass and I was showing him moves, and his friends decided that we wanted to prove to see if I was a badass. They found out that I was a badass. So when they grabbed me, the guy that grabbed me rather, he caught my arms from this way and he locked his hands this way. Now, the difference with me and her was he lifted her straight up while the guy that had me was ragdolling me. Alright, so for those who don't know what a ragdoll is, that's when you're just going from side to side. So he was ragdolling. My legs were swinging like this. He picked me up. My arms were bent to him like this. And he was just flinging me around talking all kinds of shit. At this time, I'm getting mad and frustrated, so I threw all my body weight forward. Being that I only weighed 120 pounds, it must have been enough momentum because since we were swinging this way and I went against the grain, we flipped over. When we flipped over, I landed on him and I said, boom! And then I grind my elbow. His hands open up. I roll back off of him. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to give you the chance you didn't give me. Get the fuck up. You want to fight? We're going to fight. Now, all this started with them threatening to throw me in a trash dumpster, and I'm exceptionally claustrophobic. Alright? I've had bad problems with my past and stuff. Elevators. I walk upstairs. I do not take elevators. I'm sorry. So I will be functionally late to anything. If there's a set of stairs, I'm going to take it. Most of the time. Unless I'm going to a VA appointment. Now, moving on. She did this and rolled over. So the commenter said that that shit would not work. I'm here to tell him, depending on how long she's been doing Aikido, how heavy her opponent is, how swift she is, and how much gravity involved in this thing is going to make sure that this works. Now, that might have been choreographed. I'm not going to knock that. It might have been choreographed, but for the most part, let me take you back to Judo. Judo is a system just like Wing Chun, where a smaller person is able to manhandle a bigger person. Alright? So let me explain that without being exceptionally evil. In Judo, you have a couple of rolling throws. You know, if you watch Ken from Street Fighter, he does a little bit of Judo. When he grabs the guy by the gi, falls on his back, and flips him over. Ryu does the same thing. And then you have Judo with Ken, where he grabs the guy by the gi and roll about 4 or 5 fucking times and then throw him over. Now that there disobeys the laws of complete physics in real life. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's not highly probable that you're going to grab somebody and they are literally going to let you roll them around 4 or 5 times before you release them and they're going to land on their back. That's not impossible, just highly unlikely that someone's going to be dumb enough to let that shit happen. But nothing is impossible. So, therefore, you know, you may find that idiot that makes you, okay, or you're making a hellacious movie where the fight choreographer said it's going to be cool if we roll you like 3 times and then kicks you in the air and you fall on your back. Okay, I can live with that being in a movie. Real life, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's highly unlikely. However, when you do that roll, 9 out of 10, you grab them, you throw your back, and you're pulling them. And you're going to put your legs on their legs as you hit the ground when you roll, and you're going to roll back, and then you're going to lift them up and roll back again, and you're going to lift them up and roll back again. That's a lot of goddamn work, where it'll just be simple for you to just grab them and roll back and throw. Also in Judo, if someone grabs you by the shoulders, you can push in here, grab the gi, lock, turn, twist, pull, throw. That's one. If someone's throwing a punch, you can grab, block, twist, and throw, because you're not resisting. You're leading them to the direction in which you want to carry them. Aikido kind of works in the same principle. However, it also depends on your Aikido teacher. Now, for her all purposes, when she did the duck, roll, and tuck, her speed also, she shot kind of through the guy, through his legs, so it kind of pulled him over because also her hips was kind of heavy. So if you're heavy set on the bottom, you have a better chance. I'm not trying to say the girl had a fat ass. Anybody's going to come at me for that. But she had a nice shape. So if her rump is nice and her skill set is straight, then she would have an easier time making this shit work. Also, she wasn't much smaller than the guy. Alright? But for Judo, in all purposes, if I push you, you pull me. As you pull, you take control of the momentum and you turn it against me, and it's generally my momentum. If I pull you, you push me, so that you again take control of the momentum and use that, my force against me. So I'm pulling you, you're going to push me. And from there, what's going to happen is, it depends on who teaches you what, you are going to stick your leg between my leg while you're pushing me. And that's going to bring me off of my feet. And so then you have the option of stepping through and throwing me without getting your leg broken. I forgot how it's done, but it is possible. Or you have the ability to just ride me to the ground and put your knees in my chest. Again, it depends on who's teaching you what style of Judo, because Judo also evolved. Now, I'm a product of the 70s, 80s, and 90s martial arts, so I'm going to tell you, again, 70-30, because a lot of the shit that you learn in martial arts is not going to work out here. Especially if you're not practicing. If you're not going home and practicing everything that you learned in that dojo, quit doing martial arts because you're just wasting your fucking time. You're wasting your sensei's time and you're dishonoring yourself. So you need to go out and practice. Now I get it if you don't get the chance to practice, and the dojo is the only place you get to practice. So in that case, then I advise you to make sure that when you practice, did you ask if you can have sparring sections or have more sparring sessions with the sensei? If the sensei says, okay, look, here's how we're gonna do this. Let's say the class is roughly an hour and 10 minutes, all right? So if I'm the teacher, I'm going to make sure I hone your skills. So like that first 40 some odd minutes, I may make you work out. And the last of class, if I don't teach you something new that day, I will probably let everybody spar. You know, because if you're not sparring, you're just exercising. I know that contradicts a lot of the things I say, but let's look at it for real. You know, with your sparring partner, you have a chance to actually test and field test and battlefield test your moves. So if the class is an hour and we break that down into 3 sections, so let's say that first 40 minutes, I'm teaching you how to block, all right? Or I'm teaching you how to punch or kick. And so we got that first 40 minutes out of the way, and now we have 25 some odd minutes left. As y'all know, I can't tell time. I did say it was like an hour and 10 minutes. So let's say you have that second 25 minutes, because I have to make sure that I go to each and every one of my students to correct their body posture, because your formation is everything. Your body alignment is everything. And I have back problems, so if I'm like this, then I need to be, let's say I'm in this position where my back is straight, but it's not, it's like over here, and I gotta go wider, deeper, wider, and I gotta make sure that your body posture is straight for long bow stance. As you know, long bow. Here, you can't see my body, let me start out. So long bow, you know, here versus short bow. And then I got like super long bow where I'm here. Well, my back still needs to be straight. And some people aren't that flexible, so you have to know your range of motion. You understand how that works? Again, range of motion, your skill set. There's a lot of things that you need to know before you even engage in any kind of fighting, any kind of sparring, in any kind of martial arts school. Because shit can go wrong like that. And when shit goes wrong because of lack of training, because of lack of your teacher actually getting his ass in there and making sure that you are in proper formation for shit, you're gonna learn that shit the wrong way and you're gonna get hurt. So, like if I'm teaching you this block and it's not long bow, it's just this block, you know, that's fine. But if I want you to do this and I want you in long bow, I gotta make sure that your back and your posture is straight, or you're gonna have some problems down the road. And I don't want that, and I don't want you coming back at me and saying, well, my back's fucked up because you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Yeah, but you also didn't go home and practice. That 20% of the shit that you're gonna do in a dojo means nothing if you don't go home and practice. In fact, let me scratch that. 80% of the shit that you do in the dojo, if you don't go home and practice, it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you at all. When they tell you practice makes perfect, that's not just a saying, it's a lifestyle, it is a way of life, and you need to get used to that shit. Now back to the commenter. So, sir, if you haven't taken a martial art, let me break it to you really, really quickly. What she did has a name, I just don't remember it. But at that same time, you can do that option in judo and jiu-jitsu and kung fu. And just about any other martial art will teach you how to roll your opponent from a backwards lock grip. And there's many ways to escape an opponent from that kind of situation. It just, again, it really all heartily depends on your skill set. If you've been doing martial arts since you was like 7 or 8 years old, you guys can chime in and tell this guy the same shit. The longer that you've been in martial arts, the better you are going to get in martial arts for the most part. There will be 1,000 things that you can't do just because your body is just not made for you to do it. Once you accept that, you're halfway home. And the thing is, there are kicks that I no longer can do because of my hip, but there are kicks that I could never do in the first place. I could do them, they just aren't going to look like the guy teaching me how to do them. My inside to outside crescent kick does not look like one of my senseis. You know, my inside to outside, it doesn't look like that. And you see this guard was down while this guard was up. That's a bad habit. Now watch it from the other side. Now you see the guard's up. Alright? Now I have to teach myself how to keep this guard up. Alright? But the thing about fighting is that once that fight engages, everything's thrown out the window. All of this, all that shit's thrown out the window. It looks cool in the movies, but in real life, you have so many things coming at your head and your brain capacity. Before a person even throws a punch and you're heated up, your mental capacity is gone because all you want to do is throw a jab or throw a front kick. You know, all that shit's going through your head and no one's done anything yet. Like literally, adrenaline is pumping, you're excited, you're angry, you're pissed, all of that shit. And you're thinking what you want to do versus what you are going to do. Alright? First, having a game plan going into a fight is a double-edged sword. It's a negative and a positive for the simple fact that you know what you want to do. You have your game plan going in. I'm going to throw 2 punches and a kick. Or I'm going to throw 2 rights, a kick, and another kick. Alright, that's fine. That's in your head. You don't know what's in that other guy's head. You might not get the chance to do that. And a good defense is a great offense. And you're going to need to know what you can and cannot take. If you've never been hit in a fight before, it's going to shock the fuck out of you. Especially if you stay conscious. Because if you get hit in the face and you go to sleep, well, you went to sleep. You get in the face and you recover and you're like, oh hell no. That just boosts your adrenaline. And that's going to give you enough strength to endure the fight unless it knocks you out. Or unless you fucking get hit again. And you're like, boop, boop, and you might go and go slam the fuck to sleep. You don't know. Especially if you've never been in a fight before. If you've never been in a fight before, the best thing I can tell you is don't get in fights. However, if you've been in a few fights and you know you can take a hit, the best thing I can tell you is try not to get hit. The downside of that is, I ain't never been in a fight where I haven't been hit. You know, not gonna lie, I haven't been in a fight where I haven't been hit. You know, even play fighting, sometimes you get hit. Making movies, Jay Diz knows I've been hit quite a few times. So you have to understand how things work. You know, when someone's got you from the back, there's 1,000 different ways you can escape. You can tickle them, you can elbow them, you can headbutt them. A lot of those things sound plausible, because they are. The problem is really simple. When you train in a dojo, they give you real life scenarios, but the problem is, when is that shit gonna happen? To men, almost never. To women, they're in more danger walking out of their house than we are, because they are primary targets for victimization of rape and murder more than men. For a man to get murdered, you really have to piss somebody off. So you probably shouldn't be sleeping with other people's girlfriends. And you probably shouldn't be robbing money or borrowing money and not paying people back. You know, you should, you know, but for women, and I don't want to sound sexist, I don't want to sound evil, but I want to tell you the truth. For women, here's how this works. You're in danger from your family members. You are in danger from strangers. You are in danger from close friends. You just straight up in danger because you are a woman. All right? And here's the reason why. If you're in danger from another woman because you don't believe that another woman would do something horrible to another woman, that's a belief that you women need to get rid of. You are in more danger from another woman than you are from a man. Because a man can't follow you into the woman's bathroom. Another woman can. All right? Our bodies work the same, for the most part. Another woman might be jealous of you, so she wants to fuck up your face. You know, there you go. I won't say another woman wants to rape you, but Morbius unbound. You know, there's no telling what somebody else of another gender will do to someone of the same gender. All right? So, and women are a little bit more meaner than men. A man, we not really gonna jump in the bathroom and try to beat your ass while your dick's in your hand. All right? We're really not gonna go there. At least I'm not gonna go there. You know, other men might try to beat your ass with your dick in your hand. And as a man, I am prepared for that. I honestly, truly to God, am prepared for someone to attack me in the bathroom. I know that sounds fucked up, but I've been prepared for that shit all my fucking life, just because
And then when I joined the army, I'm like, yeah, well, there's 55 naked dudes in here counting me. I don't think none of us really want to get fucking naked and fight up in this bitch. Yeah, that's just the way it is. But for women, things are a little different, and women are a lot cattier than men. So there's no telling what another woman will do to another woman if she's pissed off enough. But for men, we gotta have a really good reason to want to fuck you up. Besides the fact that we just hate your fucking guts. Alright? 9 times out of 10, you stepped on my shoe. More than once. You spit in my face. More than once. You took the girl that I was trying to get. You know, jealousy, envy, your dick's bigger. You have a better car. You have a better life. And I want to fucking knock you off your high horse because it's something that I need to do to make myself feel better. Same thing with bullying, you know. But women, y'all are a little bit more discreet and y'all are a whole lot more evil. But when a man is after a woman, he's after her for one or two things. He's after her to rape her, or he's after her to murder her, and then the third thing is probably mug her. Now, most men don't go murdering women unless he knows them personally, all right, or unless it's a fucking accident. Most men that rape women generally are stalkers, someone that that woman knows, or someone who that woman has rejected like umpteen times, you know. And then it would more likely be a crime of opportunity versus he set that shit up to get her, you know. And he may well have done that. He may have set it up so that the crime of opportunity would actually happen. You know, goes to a house, flattening her tires. She's outside on a rainy night. Boom, clock upside the head. You know, some people do that shit. And I know that you may think I'm off topic, but I'm not. Because when you think about it, the video has a man grabbing the woman and lifting her up. So, here's a dump. And you can pay attention to this, especially if you are a man or a woman, if you are a martial artist or any kind of fighter whatsoever. The worst thing that you can do is pick your enemy up. Now, if you're not in the wrestling ring, like WWE wrestling ring, or if you're not in the UFC and body slams are allowed, the worst thing you could possibly do is pick someone up and think that they are not dangerous to you because you picked them up from behind. That's an unexpected fuck up for you. Here's the thing, if you're attacking someone, especially like if you're robbing them, your distance times their distance is either going to save your ass and let the robbery happen, or you're going to fuck up and find out that you probably robbed the wrong motherfucker that day. Coming up behind someone can be very dangerous. I have to make an honest confession. You know, there's only one time where someone came up behind me and they didn't get fucked up. And that was earlier in the story when the guy jumped me. I let my guard down because the other guy was running his mouth. The guy that jumped me came from behind. But from that day forward, anyone who's ever come up behind me has gotten hit. If I sense something, I let my instincts take over. The downside of that is that the last time that happened, I hurt my father, and no one's ever come up behind me since. Because my father came up behind me and I saw hands. Boom! That was it. You know, because I have been trained since I was 6 years old. When I was 16 or 17, when I got jumped, that was on me. I let my guard down, and that guy got me from the back. I still won the fight, but I've learned never to do that again. I am in forever battle mode. Motherfuckers pop around the corner at work, I'm already right there. As soon as I see them, I'm there. If you sneak up behind me, you're gonna get fucked up. I'm sorry about that. I can't help it. I can't cut it off. So sneaking up behind someone and you're grabbing them, especially if you're like a friend or something, it can really work out bad for you. If you're a bad person and you sneak up behind somebody, you have to understand, in this scenario, there was no knife, there was no gun, you just grabbed it. When scenarios change, like a knife or a gun to the back of your head, then things are gonna slow down and you're gonna take your fucking time before you do something stupid. But when someone's just picking you up and they don't have a weapon, they're fucking up because they don't know what you know. And they very well may be the end of them because they might pick you up just this high. Boom! Right in the testicles. They're gonna open up. Boom! You just take care of them. Thank you guys for watching. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. I will make more videos later. Be seeing you. It's about to get loud out here.